All right, so let's get started. Week 28, welcome back, and hope you guys had a nice week off. So yeah, we'll go over all of our current events since last week. So we'll look at AAII sentiment data. We'll look at the next upcoming SVOG monthly meeting. Got lots of fun idiots for the week for you guys. And since earnings season is kicking up, we got our first earnings loser with yesterday's Delta play that blew up, and we'll check that out. And then we'll look at some other nice NVIDIA FOMO events and some other dumb traders. So that's always fun. And then in some non-idiot of the week news, this was a cool article from Zero Hedge. We'll look at what happens with taxes in a trust. So we'll take a look at that. And we're still reviewing William O'Neill, and we'll get into our Fear and Greed Index from CNN. And then also got some interesting snapshots of some paywalled articles that we'll take a look at. But besides that, of course, we'll take a look at our Stock Traders Almanac per the usual. And we don't need June anymore, so delete that. And we'll look at July and August mainly. Okay, cool. All right. And just shrink that a little bit so save the page. Okay, cool. We'll skip sector rotation for now. We'll look at earnings coming up. Lots of banks starting tomorrow, so it's really the kickoff of the new quarter. And we got some other initial tickers that I've already announced. So we'll take a look at some consumer slowdown stuff from Helen of Troy. This is, I think, kitchen supplies and houseware stuff. I'm not too familiar, but I think it's fairly popular. But yeah, we'll take a look at some potential prep for tomorrow. And this is all in flux, I guess, post today's deflationary CPI print, of course. And we'll talk about the recent stress test and the before and after, as it were. And besides that, we'll take a look at our counterparty and look at the retail fish and see what the kids are trading. And it looks like Keith Gill has resurrected himself yet again. And he's maybe looking at GameStop and Chewy. So getting awfully suspicious with his trading activity, but we'll take a closer look. Getting to economic news, we'll take a look at more consumer sentiment data, of course. And our Black Swan list, I think, is pretty much up to date. We did add that last edition of the Bolivian coup. And what's hilarious is there's Chinese hardware involved, and a lot of it is breaking down. So the Bolivians are super pissed. They're trying to fight, the U.S. insurgent force, or not? Is it U.S.? It's the Russian. It's the Russian and U.S. forces that are fighting each other in the shadows here. So, these are, yeah. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in our international section. But yeah, theaters of war. I think yeah, it's still up to Bolivia. Nothing else since then. Or have I missed any other new theaters of war that you guys have seen? Okay, I think that's up to date. Okay, after that, we'll take a look at more macro data and other relevant items. And then switching gears to more currency-centric items, we'll look at how Bitcoin's faring at the moment. And after that, we got lots of domestic news. So we'll compare, this is a nice, perfect time capsule to look at the change in the election. So this is a screenshot from June 27th. So we'll take a look at predicted and see how that landscape has changed in just a bit. And kicking off domestic news, we always love the fireworks from Boeing and everyone else in the airlines. So we'll take a look at that. And the FAA has ordered many auction masks to be inspected, among other things. And to date, still though, Alex Jones has been fined for more money than Boeing, relatively speaking. So yeah, just to keep that in perspective. And then the EV debacle still continues. We'll talk about more as well in tech news. And then I got some cool analytics for you guys looking at the restaurant Armageddon. So we should take a closer look at that. And it's beyond just, McDonald's and Starbucks, but the whole ecosystem is about collapsing. And yeah, this would be a bad time to start food and beverage operations. And again, we've seen this from China, right? The canary in the coal mine. A lot of folks shifted out of tech and real estate to get into food and beverage, and they've lost their shirt like there's no tomorrow. And then the restaurant side has collapsed in Asia, and now they were already rotating funds and entrepreneur interests into like kiosks and little pushcart type things, and that's also been wiped out as well. So you can expect Americans to do the same dumb things. And you guys have probably seen like the illegals with their fruit and whatever tamale stands everywhere here and there. So yeah, there's a lot of that happening. All right, good stuff.
Is that replacing the restaurants?
Oh no, it's just illegals also being out of work, and I got nothing else to do but try to sell some tamales. And there was a article I saw the other day. What was it? Something about like jails. Let me see if I can find it. Jails.
There was a tax on food people in LA. I mean, not a tax, but you know, the government went after them.
Lowest
a bunch of them out.
Violent offender. I forgot which Central American country was like, they have the lowest amount of current of violent criminals on record because they all left the country to go to the US. I swear I had this article. Which country it is, I forgot. It's like Venezuela or Panama or something. Here we go. I found it. All right, here we go.
Venezuela.
Violent deaths in Venezuela.
Oh my God.
Thank you. So Joe Biden.
We all import them in here. Yeah.
So Joe Biden is in that game for Venezuela.
I'm looking for anything that says that criminals are coming to the United States because of Biden, because I keep on getting pushback on this.
Okay, well, here's one of them. So let me drop this in the chat. You can save this one. So it's real. Sorry, let's get back. Let's quick. So yeah, all right, let's get the show back on the road. So okay, so some more California fiascos. There was a mini mart that was ransacked outside the Oakland Coliseum a couple days ago. We'll take a look at that. DC is trying to encourage some curfews, and DC is ultra ghetto if you've never really gone outside of the nice administrative federal buildings. It's ultra ghetto. Dave Chappelle grew up
45% black or 44% black.
Yeah. It's rough. It is amazing. Like a couple blocks away from the White House, and you could buy crack. Like it's ridiculous. And then things are getting pretty dark with the chicken flu. And Australia, as we know, is sort of the canary in the coal mine. They had the FEMA camps the fastest, and they had the draconian lockdowns with severe enforcement. It's probably the most compliant industrialized Western nation. So yeah, and they're already starting to do things for the chicken flu. So a little scary. So the timeline as it is currently is you have funding kickoff first, and we've already seen that with whatever $175 million to Moderna. So
here we go again, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So whatever comes in October, hold your ground and say no. All right, cool. And besides that, sleeper cells have turned on, and you're seeing more widespread infrastructure outages. So Amtrak was after around 4th of July on the East Coast, and CDK with the car fleets and dealerships, their back-end platform was ransomwared by supposedly Russian hackers. No, but it's always Russians, right? Every single time. Never the Chinese or the Pakistanis or the Bangladeshis, but always Russian. You know, if I was a Bangladeshi click farm, I would just use Russian VPNs. So it always looks like all the traffic comes from St. Petersburg or something. I'm sure someone's doing that. All right. Cool. Shifting to real estate news, we'll talk more about some more commercial real estate contagion analytics. And we'll look at housing market data as well in the last 2 weeks. And this is the future of all the private equity that's buying up everything from multi-units to single-family homes. So it's really to house illegals and more rent-seeking behavior, literally. All right, good stuff there. Shifting to tech news, lots of fun stuff here. Again, shout out to Ross here for our ancient NVIDIA versus Ponzi scheme logarithmic scale charts here, but wait, this is not logarithmic. Okay. But yeah, we'll take a look at NVIDIA just a bit and looking at semiconductors as a whole. This looks extra frothy to me, right? Like, holy cow. It's insane. But yeah, we'll talk some news with Apple with more AI hype and garbage there. We got some interesting feedback on the Vision Pro, which of course no one really likes at $3,500, and we haven't seen a lot of it, out in the wild. I'm sure all of us have seen more Cybertrucks than Vision Pros out there.
They returned the Vision Pros.
Yeah. Wait, is it on clearance? Let's see. Would that be wait, it's the product launch.
That would be in the refurbs.
Yeah, where's the refurb? Yeah, Apple refurb. Let's see that link. Are there Vision Pros here? There are not. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be a horrible product launch if it's already on the clearance rack. Only Elon can do that. Cool. We'll take a look at also more EV data as well. And again, early adopters got destroyed and with resale value. And we've been reporting on that for a long time. So good stuff there. And
everywhere except the Hertz. I'm sure they're keeping their prices up.
Yeah. We should take a look at the Hertz car sales just as a curiosity. But yeah, other than that, we'll take a look at the recent semi-short squeeze on Tesla. And we'll look at its current recall. So reality, well, at least today, Tesla's down, what, 3 or 4%. But yeah, we'll look at the newest recall from Tesla and the new semi-recall where it's asking folks to replace their motors. So we'll take a look at that. It's kind of like a voluntary recall. But yeah, we'll take a look at some other analytics there with Tesla. And NVIDIA, for the first time, got its first downgrade. And thank God there's some sane analysts out there. But besides that, Rivian Amazon vans mysteriously keep catching on fire. Good times there. And Volkswagen is probably a little confused with their $1 billion cash injection. And then besides that, here's the layoff data that's, we can just update the latest figure here. But yeah, shifting to international news, surprise, surprise, Argentina wants to join NATO. This freaking Fox was always trying to intend that. So yeah, I'm glad the mask has slipped and it's just business as usual. So, all right. And then we'll look at cozy relations between India and Modi. And there's been some great pictures. Like they had a serious bear hug. It's pretty intense. So we'll take a look at them. And, oil guy needs his broker to work very hard on his behalf. All right, besides that, there's more halal chicken. Not the biggest deal, but not a great trend in general, but we'll take a look at that. And then this is probably the biggest item in international space that no one talks about that happened. Remember the petrodollar, the petrodollar agreement just ended about a month ago. And looks like the House of Saudi has called Zelensky's bluff, and they will not be bullied. So this speaks well of, I guess, of BRICS solidarity, as it were.
Well, no, so forget that part. I mean, that's connected, but the EU and US want to steal the $300 billion from Russia. That's the pivot for this.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the Saudis are going to divest from everything Europe is what they're threatening. If you guys are acting like bullies and stealing people's giant funds, we're going to ruin you.
Yeah. And these are still in sovereign funds. It's not just for individuals. Like this is unparalleled warfare that's never been done before. Yeah.
Well,
Well, relatively speaking.
I mean, we did it to Iran. Let's not say.
But you know, do as we say, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no
Yeah,
worries.
U.S. being a bully doesn't count, does it?
I mean, that's our job practically, right? All right. And then we'll look at the latest in diplomacy uh, out of Moscow as well. And then we'll take a look at fireworks coming out of Rocket Boy. And for some reason, South Korea, Mr. Catholic President Yoon is saying North Korea is a threat to NATO. Like, it's just ridiculous. But yeah. President Yoon he's the compromise candidate for this recent South Korean election. As I talk to more of my Korean friends, no one holds him in high regards. Like apparently there's a lot of shenanigans about his wife. Like she's a former salon hostess girl and acts like one. All right. Besides that, again, we gotta look to our French correspondent, Linda. She is our French investor, and we got to hear what's happening with the French scene there. So hopefully she can chime in. And meanwhile, here's some French Olympic ticket prices, in case you were wondering. So, you know, like most of us, we only care about when the female volleyball session is, but I don't see that listed here. Okay, but yeah, here's the prices. Sailing is 24 euros. So that's funny. You think road cycling be more popular in France, but not really. And what else? We got some more news from the luxury market here. So not quite consumer sentiment, but we'll take a look at that. And Egypt is having a economic meltdown as well. So fun there. And shifting to oil and commodities news, uranium is blowing up with supply crunches potentially happening in Kazakhstan. And besides that, we're seeing Vietnam having Robusta. This is the cheap coffee beans it's grown like corn versus grown in the shade. So that's the Arabica versus the Robusta beans. So here we're seeing Vietnam supply issues. So that's blown up. So here you go for your Folgers cups. And farmers are hoarding corn like it's 1988. And, you know, with a war about to kick off, this makes a lot of sense, honestly. Like, why sell at low prices? Just hold off. Cool. And then we'll look at more of global food stock data as well. And this is another vending machine success story that is everything I love. But this is ammo vending machines arriving at grocery stores in red states. So last time we talked about convenience stores in Korea selling gold, and in America we're selling ammo. So we're getting closer to libertarian utopia day by day here, I guess. All right, good times. Precious metals news, gold right now is 24.13. We have set an all-time new high in the dollar for gold as we speak. Silver is still below its 1980s high of, was it 48 or $49? So me and all the silver apes are still on suicide watch, but for the gold bugs, we're happy. And the gold silver ratio at the moment is, what is it? 76, keeps dropping, holy cow. All right, whoops. Okay, but yeah, we'll take a look at some more gold analytics, and there's some fun updates there. We'll take a look at China news, lots of fun stuff there. Shout out to Larry for sending us some articles in. We'll talk about the bond crisis there in Beijing, as well as just general shenanigans with oil and food safety insanity. So we'll take a look at that. And then we'll take a look at failed payouts for public servants there. So there's been lack of liquidity and solvency at many municipal government levels. So we'll take a look at Shandong, which is in the sort of eastern region. And would you go to work if you haven't been paid for 6 months? Some people have to make that call. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. And we'll take a look at some more BYD data that's come out. And interestingly enough, there's been a lot of interesting concern about China searching for World War II wrecks, and it's purely to salvage metal that's not contaminated from all the nuclear tests. So for higher end material science applications like medical equipment and Geiger counters, for example, you need metal that's not contaminated. So we'll take a look at that. And I didn't know this was even a thing, but so apparently all surface level or all metal that's mined after World War II is radioactive to a certain degree because of our nuclear tests that took radioactive isotopes, blew them into the jet stream, and it settled all across the planet. And that's why everything underneath the ocean that's pre-World War II is technically not contaminated. So cool little material science factoid there. And we'll take a look at Chinese shipyards and the anti-plunge protection team working hard behind the scenes there as well. And we'll talk fentanyl and Chinese drugs, of course. And those are the key items of our highlight reel. All right, cool. Questions, comments? If not,
no, looks good.
Cool. Let's kick off with our S&P 500 poll. I would love to know where you think the S&P 500 will go by next week. So please vote hard on your screen. And let me check where the S&P is at the moment. Oh, it's down 1% now. Okay. Getting spicy out there. All right. All right, let me share our results. We got 50% saying bullish, 25% saying sideways, and another 25% saying bearish. All right, excellent. And let's compare that with oops. All right, let me compare that with our American Association of Individual Investors. All right, so we skipped last week. Okay, they're on the same timeline here. So yeah, we're seeing some more bullishness here with them at least, and a shrinkage of the neutral and a shrinkage of the bearish. Okay, yeah, so definitely a little bit more optimism after the deflationary CPI print today. Okay. Cool. All right, let's take a look at next week. All right, next week's monthly meeting. Oh, there's no data here. I haven't checked my email recently. Kurt, do you happen to know who's talking next week?
No, it's still under investigation.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, cool. No worries. Let's shift to Idiot of the Week and let's look at our first sucker. And you guys probably noticed earnings is getting on, and Delta had earnings yesterday. And I didn't look at Delta, but let's just pull up Delta's charts really quick, and we will talk airlines in just a sec. So let's take a look. Delta is one of our, I think it is the largest U.S. domestic carrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look. All right, so we're down 6% today already. Holy cow, big gap down post earnings. Obviously, that's bearish for airlines. So if Big Daddy is having some problems, we can expect Alaska, Southwest, and other folks to have problems too. And if you could look at on-balance volume here, a lot of net selling here. Holy cow. And post earnings is blowing up. And if we look at the put-call ratio, for sure it's going to be north of 1. So let's confirm and take a look. Let's see. Oh no, people are buying the dip. Oh. Hope springs eternally, I guess.
Well, would
okay.
you rather buy Delta or American Airlines? Take your pick.
Wow, yeah. Just buy NVIDIA, right? Okay, but yeah.
But if you're a big institution and you have to buy an airline, which one are you gonna buy?
Delta.
God, that's just not a fun. That's not a good choice either way. But yeah, let's see. This guy tried to play earnings, and all the money I've saved for college is gone. Oh my gosh. He only saved $2,000 for college. We're not sure which
Wow.
college he's going to, but it's the one next to the check cashing place. All right. I have a call from until 12 o'clock, by the way. I understand, but you're in the public space, so yeah. I understand, but you're in a public space, sir. So there's other rooms. You can hang out in other rooms, sir. Okay. Okay, sorry. Number two, option trader here with his swing trade here, trying to cook NVIDIA. And let's see, really short term, really close strikes, and he's long as hell. And NVIDIA's not having a good time, obviously. Okay. All right, so this guy got wiped out here, pretty chunky. All right, let's go to number three. All right, cool. All right, so this is from 4 days ago. Let's see what this guy did. He lost his entire account. So probably started with 25K and poof, gone here. So let's see what his trades were. Oh, this guy didn't post his trades. Oh, sorry, my bad. Let's find a better one. Okay, sorry. All right, let's see this guy. Just trying to short the Qs and got to put at 502. Again, really short dated stuff. God, these poor kids, like dated decay just destroys you, and you have to be directionally right. So this guy got wiped out here as well. So yeah, and this guy's negative, so negative 2,700. Holy cow. Wow, he's gonna have to wire in some money ASAP. And let's see, what's the last guy here? Or second to last. All right, so this guy poofed away 95% of his portfolio, 174K and counting. And let's see, when was this timeline? Okay, we kind of don't know when all is, but let's see. So $444 left, which tells us he has no position sizing rules here. So he's YOLOing in his entire bankroll, and he figured out what not to do. Figured out a little bit late, but better late than never. And hope no one else ever loses money. This is actually a pretty good post. Actually, I'll save this and look at it again. But yeah, tough break here. And then let's look at our last idiot of the week. Okay. This guy lost half of his $900,000 portfolio. Wow. That's a
Wow.
vicious cut. $21,000 left. This is like his version of position sizing, I guess. But yeah, let's see. Largest holdings. Tesla. Let's see, what is this? Is this Corsair? I'm not sure what this is. AMD, Palantir, Chewy, Lucid, Micron, Alibaba, Spy, Robinhood, Rivian, SunPower, Baidu, Nvidia, Roku, Nike, and Chipotle. Okay, these are all losers for the most part. Point blank, I know these are losers. So wow. Just mind-blowing. And no protective put or anything. Like, you wonder where all this money came from. Like, how could you amass so much money and be so dumb? But I guess it's possible. I mean, trading is a specialty skill. What was that, Larry?
It's daddy's money.
It's daddy's money.
How old is he?
Not old enough. They're still using Robinhood to trade a $900,000 account.
Wow.
And think about this. Even Fidelity gives you money on your unallocated funds, at least, right? Like you could live off some serious interest off a mere $1 million. And like, what is he doing? Oh, I didn't see this. Wall Street Bets Purple Heart recipients. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
What's that mean? Purple Heart recipient.
It means you were injured in the line of duty.
Oh, for
If you
sure.
lose enough
Okay.
money, If you lose enough money, the internet will give you a worthless internet badge.
Oh my gosh. He must be
The
like,
$2,000 college fund don't count.
Oh,
he must be rich. Maybe it's just his little money.
oh my gosh, that's so terrible. That's not the internet accolade you want. All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's hilarious. Let me just maybe include the screenshot here. That's so good. Okay. All right. Purple Heart recipient. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. All right. Let's go to our next one here. All right. Let's see. Talking about this is more this is not peer trading, but more about asset protection. Definitely above the scope of this conversation. But in general, as you're planning, I guess from a legal standpoint, if you look at a corporate shield in general, it needs to serve three, like, depending on where you are in your life, what your goals are. Like, there's three major goals for corporate shields in general, right? One is asset protection. Another one is stealth. Like this is more in line of disclosing membership into corporations, and different states have different charging laws to pierce the corporate veil to figure out membership. I believe it's Wyoming, Delaware, and Florida that has the strictest non-charging laws. And then the third most important priority when it comes to corporate entities is tax efficiency. So again, number one, again, it depends on your priorities. Asset protection, stealth, or tax efficiency. So depending on where you are in life, what assets you have, where they are, do you have children? Do you have heirs? Blah, 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 blah. Like you need to like figure out this matrix between your CPA and your attorney. So again, well beyond the scope of this meeting, but lots of fun things to look at here. Okay, cool. So we won't get into the nitty gritty, but yeah, we'll leave that here in our notes to take a look at. Cool. All right. With that, let's go to the charts and do our direct index overview. Questions, comments, guys? All right. Looks like market is pretty choppy, down 1%. All right, let's go to the charts. And I've closed like 800 tabs and SVOG is still running really slow here. Holy cow. Maybe it's my videos. Let me just turn off the video for the chart stuff. All right. All right, so look at the ES. We're dancing with all-time high territory, of course. But yeah, look at momentum. It's not great, but we are treading water above the zero line, but it's not a very strong rally, as it were. Again, everything's off NVIDIA's shoulders. And just as a comparison's sake, let's look at the equal weight S&P really quick. Equal weights. So this is the RSP. So let's go to the 1-year chart. So if every component of the 500 companies were equal, this is what it would look like. And it looks super sideways, right? It technically the recent peak was what is this? March 28th. So that's the true peak on an equal weighted scale. But with NVIDIA, it gets all blown up. And this is the 1-year chart here. So it looks like this instead. So interesting juxtaposition here. But just keep that in the back of your mind. All right, cool. So that's the momentum. It's not convincing, but could fall apart. Let's go to the, let's look under the hood and look at contract count itself. All right. Pretty low volume, kind of tight. Only 250,000 calls today, or bullish contracts as it were, on the futures. Put call ratio is about fairly normal, 1.375. Yeah, that's average day. Deltas look pretty normal as well in the 0 to 20 categories. So yeah, at least from the ES, looks like a normal trading day with the smart money, supposedly at least. Yesterday was a lot more. It was like the put call ratio was north of 2. People were trying to hedge against the extreme optimism at the late day yesterday. All right, let's check out SPX. Okay, cool. Looks like SPX, fairly normal amount of volume here. Sizzle index numbers are all broken, but this looks about normal to me. Fair value is about 1.4. This is sitting at 1.2 for the put call ratio. So we're seeing a little bit more optimism than the future side at least. And but yeah, this is our big boy options contracts here. And let's scale down to the retail side of the S&P 500 with SPY. And let's see how that's shaken up. All right, seeing more optimism here as the put call ratio number lowers to 1.1, and the Hail Mary delta from 0 to 20 on the put side is only 44%. So that's pretty weak there. So some remarkable optimism, as it were. And with that, let's shift gears to the NASDAQ and see how that's shaken up. Come on, toss. I need a 3 of a kind. Come on, 3 of a kind. There we go. And our beloved NASDAQ down 2.38%. Holy cow. That is a lot. Okay, let's see. Pretty bullish for a normal day. And yeah, a lot of bullishness actually. But people are trying to buy the dip, but it's not working. Let's go to the charts. Let's see momentum with the NASDAQ. All right. We are seeing more inflows. Money is rotating in for sure, but yeah, I guess it's coming in. It's not very strong though. I mean, the zero line is just right here. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, a lot of optimism here despite a down day. Okay. All right, let's go to the Russell 2000. And again, this is our beloved schizophrenic index. This loves to overreact. It's like that crazy ex-girlfriend.
Well, it's up 3% today.
Perfect. Every day is opposite day, which is just like our ex-girlfriend. And looking at momentum, yeah, we've been chugging along with some somewhat small inflows. Okay. And let's take a look at under the hood analytics.
Let's see what we got going here. So that's something we a few things. So this is which ones.
Okay. Wow, substantial bullishness today. Usually this is 2.3 on the put call ratio. 0.772 is one of the lowest numbers I've seen on record. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, looks like everything else, yeah, just extreme bullishness. That's again really uncharacteristic of the Russell 2000. All right, let's shift gears and go to the diamonds and take a look at that.
Perhaps
Okay, let's look at the diamonds. Again, not the biggest ETF to be trading among the indexes, but it's nice to get a look at the numbers. And let's go to the charts and check out momentum. All right, looks like momentum has been seeing net 20 million shares inflowing every day. Looks like it peaked back in mid-May, looks like, but still pretty good. All right. Let's look under the hood and see where that is. Let me see. Oops. Where did the sorry, one second. Okay, put call ratio here. This traditionally is extremely optimistic, and I call the diamonds the kid that likes to eat glue in the corner. Usually this is 1.0, but 0.58 again is extreme bullishness for the diamonds at least. And deltas look very unaggressive as well. So again, this is a very thinly traded index ETF, but nice to take a glance at it at least. And we can't not talk about the VIX. So let's take a look at what that number is today. It might be still under 15 or something ridiculous. Should be like 70, maybe 60. Should be at least over 30, but we're not discounting risk correctly anymore in the world. All right, come on, VIX. All right, 13.3. Okay. Wonderful. All right. All right, good times there. All right. All right, well, that's our market overview of the indexes. And let's take a look at CNN's Fear and Greed Index. And we'll look at some other key indicators. All right. So looking at their composite score, we're at 51. We're at 57 last week. Oh, sorry, 57 yesterday, 44 last week, and 43 a month ago, and 78 a year ago. All right, so they love this 125-day MA here. Yeah, I guess that gap is still widening. Let's see, this is our Heidenberg Omen here, right? 52-week highs versus 52-week lows, and most of that is skewed on the low side, so looking pretty bearish there. Oh, and our cost of living adjustment pops in to say hi here. Oh, my camera's off. Oh, here's Cola to say hi. All right, cool. Let's see. And then look at the McKellen index. We're also skewing towards extreme fear with the sort of median value of overall number of shares falling versus rising. So to me, this is like an extreme problem because we have the whole world is on NVIDIA's shoulders. And as we look at the equal weight S&P, if NVIDIA sneezes, the rest of us catch the plague. So yeah, pretty scary. And we talked to death about the put call ratio. This is the wrong way to look at it, so we'll skip it. But yeah, cool. And then there's a paywall article here, but I want to at least drop the screenshot. This is from Monday. Goldman Funds flow guru turns tactically bearish. And yeah, and he says, in August, I am on correction watch. So risk on for August, if not right now. But yeah, all right, good times. Let's take a look at the Stock Traders Almanac with the latest data. Shout out to Jeffrey Hirsch and his team. All right. July is the best month of the third quarter. Start of second half brings an inflow of retirement funds. First trading day, Dow is up 28 of the last 34. Graph above shows strength in the first half of July. Huge gain in July usually provides better buying opportunity over the next 4 months. Start of NASDAQ's worst 4 months of the year. And presidential election in July have ranked number 6 for the Dow, number 6 for the S&P, and number 9 for the NASDAQ. Excelente. All right. So yeah, should be improving, maybe. All right. Peeking down a rabbit tunnel, looking at August, looks like the August readout is harvesting made August the best stock month from 01 to 51. Now that 2% of America is dedicated to farming, August is the worst Dow and second worst S&P and NASDAQ month since 1988. Second shortest bear in history caused by turmoil in Russia from 1998, blah, blah, blah. Saddam Hussein triggered a 10% slide in 1990. And best Dow gains were 1982, 1984 as bear markets ended. And next to last day, S&P up 9 of the last 27 years. And in presidential election years, August ranks number 5 for the S&P, number 4 for the NASDAQ, and number 4 for the Dow and number 1 for the NASDAQ. Incredible. Okay, we'll see if number 1 for NASDAQ holds up. It would be really ironic if NVIDIA fell apart in August, kind of like that Goldman guy hinting. Okay. All right. I still don't have stock charts, so sorry about that. But yeah, let's take a look at earnings for a second. All right. Let me get their cookies accepted. Nothing really today. Oh, well, we got tomorrow though. Okay. So tomorrow morning, JPN, Wells Fargo's, Citi, lots of folks. Okay, awesome. Bank heavy and with a little Sony Ericsson here, or just Ericsson. All right, should be exciting. Okay, let's take a look at one of our earnings players from recently. This is Helen of Troy that just came out. A little bit more of the consumer houseware side. They sell kitchen stuff, home and beauty products, I believe. I'm not familiar with all of their brands. Oh, they own Hydro Flask and Braun. Okay. Okay, cool. But yeah, they had a tough time. So pretty bad beats. Let's take a look. Huge gap down. What is this? 90 to 65. Oh, holy, that's right. A third down. That's a major haircut. Okay. So yeah, pretty scary. And this is very middle class centric. So yeah, intense. And I wonder if this affected its compatriots. So what's some competitors of this? Like what's the Williams Sonoma stock? This is a little bit higher end, but I think it's in the same general category. I wonder if they were affected by this. Let's take a look. Why is this not working? Something's wrong with Yahoo Finance. Okay, we're not gonna... Oh, there we go. It's a mountain. Did I change this? Why is this chart not loading? Come on. Okay. Looks like this is different. Okay, this is diverging from Helen. Okay, something else. Okay. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Okay, well, that's Helen of Troy. Okay, not having a good time. Okay, let's look at banks before earnings. Okay, as we previewed, let's look at some potential. So here are the cost of cheap hedges against banks. So we're looking at the skew of JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Citi. So definitely pretty cheap. This is probably cheaper than it should be. And we should maybe be picking up some cheap hedges, just as a thought. But let's see. As a group, the trio has surged up 22% for the year. And yeah, I guess tomorrow will make or break it. And let's take a look at these tickers though, and see if we can see any extremes. Okay. Little bit of bearishness, but nothing too extreme. Let's take a look at Wells Fargo and see if we see anything there. Oops, oops, oops. Hit the wrong thing. Oh, Cola. Hang on, Cola. What are you doing? Cola, down. Wrong ticker. Wrong ticker. Okay, let's see. Nothing extreme here. 0.654, but it is bearish at least. Let's see if we see confirmation with Citigroup. Just with the betting public today. This might change closer to closing time once people slap on more earnings trades. Unlike the others, at least Citigroup is a little bit more bullish. Okay. Actually, maybe pretty bullish here. Okay. But it's down already 1.5%, unlike its cousins. So who knows what that could be. But yeah, this relative calm might be temporary. Okay, we'll take a look later. All right, cool. Let's take a look at some analytics from a recent stress test. Bank deposits are insufficient, it looks like. It's been scaling down from the recent high. Let's see. This was peaking at mid-June, and our last prior peak to that was what? Late March. Okay. And let's go back to that parent article. Okay. Excluding foreign deposits, total domestic compartment still fell respectively, and definitely not a good trend with massive bank outflows. So not the most positive of stress tests. Okay. And while we talk about the big boys, let's also take a glance at the regional players. So KRE is the regional bank ETF. And why is it up 4%? It gapped up? This makes no sense. Was there some positive regional banking news that I don't know about?
Like government funding.
Let's see, KRE. Nothing even in live news, really. No, this is just a market summary.
If that's
Hey.
today, that's the
Oh,
assumption.
it's
That's
just a CPI print, I guess.
yeah.
It's dovish somewhat or deflationary. So, okay.
Lower rates is good for them.
Oh, I
Hey.
guess. Yeah.
Hey, Warren,
Mhm.
are you guys
Mhm.
heard that Patelco Bank?
Mhm.
I've been hearing a lot these few days. Some of the
Yeah.
people that I know, they bank with Patelco, but their online banking
So,
is down, and it's been down for quite a while.
Yeah,
People are not, yeah.
sounds
yeah,
like
They're
it's a
saying
China.
credit union. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. I know a lot of people that bank with Patelco, and they said they're having like online banking issue they cannot access,
Yeah,
and they
they
say
got
it's a cyber security thing, but I don't believe it is.
well,
It-
they got hacked with ransomware.
I don't believe that though. I
Uh,
mean,
I heard it from a member there.
yeah, that's
it's
what they told. That's what they told the customers.
it's
But
definitely
it's all over the news. It's been
It's
on
all
the
over the news.
last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
We
right.
keep on making enemies of people who are attacking us cyber. It's
It,
just
it
we're begging to be beaten up. Bad things are going to happen if we keep
It-
on.
it's
Yeah.
definitely not a liquidity or solvency issue. So
Yeah.
please stop asking if this is a bank run.
There's a CEO that needs to be shown the door.
I mean, I don't believe it's the cybersecurity.
Let's look up bank runs as a Google trend.
Sounds more to me like bank runs
Yeah. Let's
or
zoom out.
liquidity crisis, liquidity issues in the bank. So they limit people access to their accounts.
Okay, it looks like the peak of the bank run was still SVB Signature Bank that era of last year. It's not
Mhm.
quite right now. Okay.
Right.
We're getting there though. We're getting there. Okay. Okay. We'll see if anyone else comes up there. Okay. All right. Shifting gears to the retail side, let's look at what the fish are trading. Looks like it's Tesla, Nvidia, the Qs, Wayfair, Apple, Amazon, Russell 2000, Broadcom. What is lot again? AMD, Delta, Intel, Microsoft, SoundHound, Meta, Wendy's, Rivian, Supermicro, SoFi, MicroStrategies, TSM. What's Lunar? SLV. Oh, holy cow. SLV is
Super.
on top number 20. That's amazing. Okay, but what is Lunar? What is
Luna is,
another
I
space
heard of
stock?
it. I forgot.
Intuitive Machines. I'm not familiar with these guys. And it's a penny stock, basically. Oh, it's a worthless penny stock. Holy cow. Uh, those yellows are all downgrades. Oh my gosh. Extra spicy. Okay. Who's in charge of this? Ghaffarian. That's an Armenian last name. Iranian. Oh, even worse. Okay. Let's see. Out of Houston. I'm not familiar with these guys.
No, it's a SPAC.
It's a space back out of Texas. Okay, yeah. SPAC merger. Okay, yeah, it's a SPAC. I don't know. Haven't heard of these players. Okay. They're having some serious problems though. Okay. Looks like problems will continue. Should we be shorting intuitive machines?
At that price?
Not much of a market left. That is true. Not much juice. Does it even have options? It does. It even has weeklies. And people are buying the dip. Oh, God bless them. Okay. That is extreme optimism. Okay. Someone's gonna get wiped out here. All right.
The market makers are rubbing their hands with glee.
Yeah, let's take a look at the monthlies. What's the bid-ask spread here? Okay. Okay, so a lot of money here, no markets. Let's see. Next set of monthlies. It's actually decent liquidity. I'm surprised. But you're just buying it from yourself at that point. Okay, interesting. Okay, well, this is a dumb stock. Okay. All right. Well, that's what the kids are looking at. So nice to know of our counterparty. And let's go to Keith Gill's latest with Chewy and freaking GameStop. Okay, let's take a look. So the position, it's not, we're not sure that it's originated from him, but we're a lot of folks are pretty sure. Okay, or it's an educated guess. So the position itself is long calls at $30 for GameStop, expiring what is this, a week and a half? And ditto for Chewy about at 30 bucks. Let's go to the charts and take a look at these strikes first. And I was doing my bookkeeping last night. GameStop is my second best ticker, which is kind of cool. And that's all from shorts, which is probably unique.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go to GameStop. It's up 1%. All right. So has this latest pump and dump did anything? Effectively, no. Looks like it's nothing really. And look at momentum. It's basically at the zero line. I mean, you have a little bit of a fart right here, but that's hardly anything to write home about. So this pump and dump is not working, obviously. Will it hit $30? I don't know. Let's see the probability of out of the money. Let's take a look at that position. We should see the 5,000 clump at the 30 strike. Right. Let's see. Right here. So that's about a third of the market at this specific strike. Oh no, not even. There's so many more folks piling in. Okay. So, but there's an 82% this will expire worthless. That's pretty crazy. Wow. Okay. Is this a good trade? I don't think so. So it's again short dated options. What's the delta? 25? Yeah, kind of dumb. I don't think this will pan out very well. Okay, let's go to Chewy. Let's take a look at that. All right, so here's Chewy's charts. We're also looking at the 30 strike for July 19th. Looking at momentum, we had a lot of inflows that disappeared around mid-June, and we're in sell-off. We're visiting the sell-off zone here. Okay, let's go back to the charts. Put call ratio, kind of bearish, kind of. Okay, that's okay. Let's go look at the actual 30 strike. Okay, so it's right here. Looks like we also stir up a lot of business here. That position represents about 10% of all of the open interest and combined volume. Some decent bid-ask spread, but yeah, 84% probability of expiring worthless. Those aren't the best odds. Yeah, this looks like a really dumb situation here. But yeah, looks like we do have some overlap between GameStop and Chewy. So maybe the C-suite is cooking up something here. Interesting. But yeah, we'll have to watch this unfold. But that's what's happening with the fish. Okay. All right, getting out of the retail space, let's look at back to our macro side of the house. Let's look at more consumer sentiment stuff. Okay. So according to YouGov, let's see, Americans need to make 186K on average to feel financially secure, which is twice more than what the average worker made in 2022. Fantastic. Looks like Gen Alpha will never own a home in this lifetime. Okay. All right. Let's get out of here. I thought there was a little bit more juice. But yeah, our Black Swan list. Any other additions? Let's see. We have the Bolivian coup. I didn't include this in our notes, but let me grab the Bolivian Chinese tank video. That was hilarious. 1 second. Let me get that.
So, when Gen X dies and the houses get sold off, there's going to be a real estate problem.
Well, when the baby boomers do that, it's going to kick it off.
Sorry, that's what I mean. Boomers.
Boomers, yeah.
And the first half of X.
Yes.
There's baby boomers is like 50% too big, just so you register.
As a group, yeah.
In years.
You mean in lifespan or?
Well, like 64 is the back end of boomers, and really those people are sort of a Gen X.
Yeah.
We all lived through the 70s, and the real boomers or the early boomers were teenagers before the 70s.
Oh yeah, here we go. China's tofu drag weapons in Bolivia. Coup fails in 3 hours. Armored vehicles break down. Good times. Let me drop this in the chat right here. Or, I'll drop this in the chat too. Let me fix this annotation here. Okay, cool. Whoops. Whoa, what the that's a little too much. Okay, cool. All right. All right, theaters of war, we'll leave that alone. All right, let's go to our macro econ news. All right, again, getting into the overweighted market. Sorry, let's check this out. This is analyzing 1-day versus 21-day trailing returns. And looks like we're trading well past the 21-day mark. Like everything is just overheated like crazy. Is this a frothy bubble or what? But yeah, this is just mind-blowing. Okay, and let's take a look at this. This is the average magnitude of fragility events in the 50 large cap stocks of the S&P. Blah, 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 blah. Average magnitude of fragility events when standard deviation move is greater than 3. All right, so more than 3 sigma should be worrisome. And when has this increased? We are increasing right now in 2024. So this is I guess the fragility calculation. I haven't seen it presented in this way before. I kind of like it, but yeah. So definitely risk on for July and especially August, I guess. Holy cow. Okay. All right, more optimistic news. Let's go to monetary news here. All right. So here's the effective Fed funds rate. Very smooth, as you can see, and not painful for the 10-year or anything else that's stacked on top of this. And here we have gold discounting a collapse in real rates. And let's see, price is pretty stopped at the moment. But yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, no wonder. This was inverted. I was about to say this doesn't make sense. Okay. Okay. Let's fast forward out of this. We've got a lot of things to look at. Oh, we have to talk dollar strength for a second. So let's look at historical really quick. In light of today, okay, so on the 1 year side, it's still at 104, 105. It's not too bad. This is probably good for the yen for sure. But yeah, okay. All right, let's shift gears to crypto and see how inflows are looking. We're at what, 58, 59 today? What is it right now?
Yeah.
About 60, right? Kind of
Let's, what is it right now?
58, 60.
58, yeah, 58 even
58.
almost. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Hasn't been fun. Okay, so about
Nope.
58 even. And if anything, all the Mt. Gox guys should be grateful that all of their assets got locked up for all this time. I'm sure 10 years is a long time, but they're all millionaires now. Okay. Where's the inflow data? Here we go. Okay. So here's the net inflow data, and even Grayscale is positive, which tells you everything you need to know about this. But yeah, net inflow is about 294. We are not the same June high, but still pretty good. Okay. All right, let's get to domestic news, and we can finally look up our predicted presidency comparison. So let me fire that up. And we'll compare and contrast. All right. And let's see. What are the chances of Kamala Harris becoming our banshee of a president? Let's see. 86% yes here. Where's the screenshot? Okay. How do I, let me, here, I'll do this. I'll crop
You
it.
know, there's an interesting issue that if Biden drops out,
Uh-huh.
Harris has the VP, the new VP has to be voted in by Congress
It's
or
a,
House of Representatives.
it's
So
a,
in theory, we could force them into hiring a Republican.
it's what, a 2/3 or a 3/4 ratification? I kind of forgot.
I don't know.
It's one of the two, but yeah,
The House has to bring, they have to sign off on the new VP.
yeah.
And not having a VP is sort of like a deal breaker.
That's a fair point. Yeah, we could catch them in a weak moment. All right, let me shrink this.
I don't know what that means. I mean, it's
Warren, do you play the predicted market?
No,
No,
no. I like looking at it. I don't play it. Do you?
I did
Oh, okay.
last election.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
I kind of forgot how to play it though. I made a little money on it. I still have my money in the account. I'm gonna
Oh,
go back
okay.
and do it. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. So here we're comparing from 2 weeks ago. So let's look at the first one. Okay, presidential election winner. Where is it? Where's the one here? Presidential election winner. Did I not grab that screenshot? Oh, I might have grabbed the wrong. Oh, no, they've changed the listing here. Okay, sorry. Presidential election winner. It was 55 cents to Trump. Now it's 60 cents. Okay, so that's went up. Democratic nominee went from 85 cents to 37 for Biden. Holy cow. That is like a 2.5 sigma move down. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Kamala went up 13 cents today. She went from 0 to 49 cents. Oh, that's scary. Holy cow.
Wow.
Let's see.
Where's Trump?
Trump's nomination has gone up 4 pennies from 94 cents to 98. And let's see.
Newsom's not on there at all?
He was 2 weeks ago. He was 8 cents. He's not even top 2 now for DNC rep. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so it has moved, but basically this factors in the debates and whatnot and the latest gaffes publicly, blah, 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 blah. Okay, So interesting juxtaposition here. All right, cool. Let me shrink the screen. All right, let's get back to more domestic news. Let's go to the charts and look at our beloved military industrial complex and airline or aircraft creator. All right, 4.41 on the put call ratio, but let's see how Boeing's performing here overall. Yeah, like I swear, Boeing is like bulletproof. No matter how many people die, how many downgrades, there's just strong inflows, and the
Yeah,
numbers don't.
no matter where they move headquarters, I guess it's going to go to Cancun next.
And no matter how many whistleblowers they kill.
Where's number 3, right? Number 3 is somewhere. Oh, and welcome, Rob. Let me drop the session notes for you.
Are we on 3? Are we on 3 or 4?
We are waiting for number 3. We're waiting for number 3. Okay, we'll skip the other headlines here, but no end to challenges there. We're running out of time. We'll skip the dumb stuff that we can't trade. All right, let's get to the restaurant apocalypse. This will be fun. We'll pull up our favorite watch list of type 2 diabetes. Okay. Let me fast forward to the good stuff. Okay. Wait, I thought it was a better chart. Okay, here we go. Here's what I want to show you guys. Okay, National Restaurant Performance Index. I didn't know this existed, but here we go. It's not great. So let's go to the individual holdings of this. Restaurant Performance Index. Oh, by the way, it's 7-Eleven today. Happy 7-Eleven. Please visit your nearby 7-Eleven for a free Slurpee. Just want to say that.
Thank
And
you.
if you didn't know, 7-Eleven is Japanese
Yeah.
since the 80s. I didn't know that until I looked it up today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's everywhere in Japan
No
and also
wonder.
all over Asia.
No wonder the Asian 7-Elevens are so cool.
Yeah, everywhere.
And we gotta go to Seoul, Korea and buy gold in the nearest ATM. But yeah.
In the 7-Eleven.
That's right. All right, let's find this performance index.
Maybe I'll ask Conrad to do that.
Oh, please. I'll give him money. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, is it
wait.
cheaper?
No. I mean, the international spot price keeps it even. Wait, when's he going to Korea?
He's already left. He's been there for 2 weeks.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
He's having a blast, I'm sure.
Yeah. He's loving it.
Great to hear. Okay, cool. So this will have to go into my master dashboard, but yeah, here's our restaurant index. So this is kind of cool. And it would be great to see the correlation between this and the Mannheim car index as well. It looks pretty correlated from just first glance here. But yeah, so the 100 line is the 0 line effectively, and we're definitely in a contractionary state. So yeah, not good. So let's go to some tickers. Oh, wait, sorry. Let me go to the next article. It gets to individual tickers. Okay. Oh, this doesn't have it. Oh, sorry. Let's just go to my watch list really quick. Let me open up personal. Here we go. Come on. Oh, sorry. Haas is not cooperating here.
A lot of red today.
Yeah, it's beautiful. At least for me. Okay, where's type 2 diabetes? Here we go. Okay. Okay. Sector leader here, I guess, is Coke, Pepsi, McDonald's, Chipotle, Starbucks, QSR, DRI, Yum-C, pizzas, and that looks like the major holdings. All right, let's take a look at McD's, since we know they're the most shrinkflationary in this latest debacle. All right, MCD. Oops, MCD. All right, still trading like a dog. We got earnings coming up in, let's see, was that a week? 2 weeks. 2 weeks from McDonald's. 726, yeah, exactly 2 weeks. And we've been in outflows for a long time. We broke the zero line back on 422, and it's been outflows since then. So here's an easy short to look at. And if we go to put call ratio, we should see confirmation with the betting public, hopefully. It's a nice green day too to set some short traps here and sell some call spreads. And it looks like the suckers are buying the dip. Oh, I feel for them. Okay. All right. That's not a good thing. Okay, but yeah, restaurant apocalypse is definitely upon us. All right, let's go to our next article. All right, so this happened off of outside the Oakland Coliseum. There was a mini mart that was ransacked. And yeah, I mean, if you don't have business in the East Bay, like just don't go there. There's no reason to be here. I don't drive on this side of the highway anyway at night because there's a lot of illegals and suspended licenses, whatever. So just be careful on this side of the bay. Okay, let's get to our next tradable domestic item. We'll skip all of the dumb news. Let's go to housing starts and CRE data. All right. Here is the latest debacle with the commercial issues. Let's check this out. So we're looking at the number of delinquent loans from Oaktree. So let's see. Here we have post GFC in 08, and we are about to hit that level of delinquencies in a little bit. So we're at what, about 6.5%, 7%. And if I recall correctly, 10 or 12%, and this whole sector implodes. And interestingly enough, it's geographically heavier on the East Coast. Ironically, not that the West Coast is free from this, but I think in the rollover cycle, it's just not quite our turn just yet. But yeah, you can see these large concentric circles here. A lot of East Coast distress and Northwest. So some issues here. And looking at the dedicated private equity dollars for real estate, even that is shrinking. So the grifting con job for let's see, for rents for migrants and whatnot might slow down here at least. Okay. And then here is the actual the debt maturation cycle here. So let's see, this will peak. Let's see, light blue is as of 2023 year end. Okay, so yeah, a lot of stuff coming due this year. Okay, should be a great last half 6 months. And let's pivot to housing starts and listings. And looks like we're seeing a lot of record number of homes with price drops. And with this, we got to look at the ITB ETF for our home builders proxies here. So let's load that. And we've finally seen this in a negative trend here. So it's going nicely sideways here at the moment, but attempting to do a reversal, but I don't think this will hold. So, and today's up like a lot. Holy cow, up 6%. What is going on? But maybe we can circle back here. Okay. For some fresh shorts. Okay, cool. All right, we're a little bit short on time, so let's fast forward a little bit. We got to end in about 20 minutes. No surprise here. We talk about this a lot. Looks like, at least in New York City, the total amount is $1 billion now. And looks horrific, but yeah. All right, let's shift over to tech news. We got to fast forward here. Again, looks like semiconductors look really frothy, guys. So I don't know, take profits. All right. This seems kind of retarded, but let's look at Apple for a second here. we've seen their production figures go down and sales figures go down in Asia, and they had to resort to uncharacteristic price discounts for the first time, just to fudge the numbers a little bit and front load some revenue figures here. And let's see. Let's just go to the charts for a second. AAPL. Okay. All right. This is also a all-time high set this week. And looks like Apple's earnings will be in about, what, 3 weeks? 2.5 weeks. Okay. Momentum has been pretty good. Looks like the bottom at the 0 line was also paralleling we just last looked at about 422. And it's been a nice, clean, y equals, 2/3 slope here. But this might be in jeopardy. Okay. And let's take a look at the betting public and see what the collective sentiment is. Pretty neutral, mixed bag, really. Okay, so can't read into too much. 0.58. Yeah, that's anyone's game, really. Okay. But yeah, we'll see if the latest AI hype really drives earnings next quarter. I don't really think so. But yeah, Vision Pro is not having a great time. No surprises there. Larry and I was looking at the refurb side of Apple.com. We couldn't find any, so they're probably not going to discount their flagship product, obviously. Okay, let's shift gears and look at EVs. And there's some beautiful figures here of early adopters getting hosed. All right, so let me zoom in the screen for you guys and show you the first candidate. So here's the GMC Hummer EV, and here's MSRP, and then here's early adoption. So this is being done with the S-curve. This is what it looks like. So that's the Hummer. I don't think we know a lot of Hummer EV folks. Ford Lightning EVs, we've seen them in a while, but I don't know anyone personally. Here's the Rivians. A little bit more cosmetically enjoyable, I'd say. And here's the beloved Cybertruck with the Foundation series. And we'll talk Cybertruck recalls in just a second. But yeah, overall, like it has been a nightmare to be an early adopter for the most part, especially someone for Elon. Okay. Let's fast forward to the Tesla recall I just mentioned. Okay. So we talked about the first one, which was the pedal issue from the initial launch. And here is the latest one that got issued in late June. So this is for the it's the front pillar that flies off due to wind resistance, and then it would promptly impale somebody. So this is the second recall, and we have production figures from this as well. So first one was about 3,900, and this one is, I think, about, let me double check. What's the count here? I think it was 12,000. Yeah, 12,000, nearly 12,000. So Elon's been lying through his teeth about production figures. And this also might explain why he's holding on to the current inventory, because there's a backlog of replacements and parts he has to swap. So let me show you recall number 3 that's happening. It's a soft recall because he's quietly asking folks to replace the electric motors, and it's also affecting existing stock in a big way. So a lot of weakness here, and this
You
current
can't do an over-the-air upgrade?
No, you cannot do an over-the-air upgrade. That's right. And then here is, so here's more details on the current semi-covert recall if you want to take a look at that. But yeah. Oh, I saw the best acronym for FSD, for the full self-driving. It's full self-destruction. Good times. And let's pull up Tesla's charts and take a look. And I've been reading lots of like Tesla forum posts, and the current joke is anything you do with a Tesla Cybertruck voids the warranty. Okay. Let's see. Pretty bearish today. Some serious high delta shorts looks like. And it's down 8%. Let's look at the momentum figure as well. No, lots of folks buying into this rally. And then Tesla's earnings are just right around the corner. So that will be exciting. So we got what? Another week and a half to go. So let's look at the volatility skew going into earnings. What's the expected move? I'm just curious since it's 243. So that's what, 2.5 weeks. So that'd be what, July 26th? Yeah, looks like vol does peak here a little bit. Expected move of 33. So what's that? It could be as low as 200 or as high as like 280. Okay. Okay. We can sell both sides of that. Maybe leave room for a vertical drop though, because yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, and then Elon clearly doesn't know to not feed the trolls, and he was tweeting on the 2nd. He says, once Tesla solves autonomy and has Optimus in volume production, anyone still holding a short position will be obliterated, even Gates.
Mhm.
Like, Bill Gates lives rent-free in Elon Musk's mind here. Like, this is hilarious. And we know he's a certified con man. So full self-driving can work, and Optimus is a joke. So this is not going to end well at all. This is going to be the largest wealth transfer. It's going to make Enron and Theranos look like a joke. Okay, and that's just the fun stuff. Let's talk about the short squeeze really briefly. I mean, this is kind of dumb, but sure, you can front run a little bit. But yeah, I guess I'm one of the few profitable Tesla bears, but I'm not shorting it like a traditional fund. I'm just selling call spreads at safe volumes or at safe levels. This isn't really magical. And then I haven't traded Tesla in like 4 weeks because this rally is, you know, it's not on my radar. So I'll wait for it to or I'll squeeze it once it runs out of steam. Okay, but yeah, NVIDIA has its first rare downgrade, so I appreciate that. Rivian here, keep catches on fire, and the fresh $1 billion injection from Volkswagen will be promptly transferred to you via selling call spreads. So let's take a look at Rivian for a second here. And I'm just grateful that the Germans are sponsoring, you know, my future rent payments here. So yeah, just give it a little bit more time. On balance volume will revert or will mean revert to sane levels, and we'll be back here to short it to penny stock status all over again. All right,
Are
cool.
you shorting Rivian right now? Or
Oh no, hell no, not now. I'm waiting.
No?
But I'm waiting. I'm waiting to enter again soon. It's on my watch list. And let's look at the latest layoff data. Looking at techies and white collar folks. And it looks like gold is moving at the moment. It just gave up about $10. Okay. All right. Let's look at the latest figures. Let's see, 2024.
Wow.
We have laid off another, what's that? 100, 99. So another 7,000 folks have been laid off in the last 2 weeks among the tech firms. And that's plus 20. Yeah, okay. Pretty scary. Okay, shifting to international news. This snake in the grass has finally revealed his true colors, and all of his libertarian BS was just for votes, and he's going to push for NATO membership, and it'll be World War III all over again. Thanks, Javier. But yeah, Modi and our boy Putin here has been really close, and business as usual, but yeah. And Putin's been a busy boy. He just saw Rocket Boy. He just saw Modi. Who else is next? Can we pull up his international state visit timeline? visit list. Do governments publish this? I'm not sure. Here we go. Oh, Wikipedia at least records this. Wow. Lots of red here. Let's see. 14 visits or more is black. So it's China, the stands and Kazakhstan's, and what else? India is medium. Okay. Let's see. Oh, future trips. Okay, we got Turkey, Burundi, Equatorial Guinea, Kazakhstan, and India coming up again. Okay, very cool. All right, excellent. I didn't know this was tracked. Okay, excellent. Okay, so lots of stuff there. All right, pivoting also to the halal market. I mean, to go to demographics, there's the three M's, right, that are booming in the United States. It's Muslims, Mexicans, and Mormons. And this is part of that movement. It's just another way of harvesting an animal. They bleed it out first, which some folks like, some folks don't. If you like blood sausage type things, it's maybe convenient to have a bucket of blood, but there's pros and cons to it. I mean, halal is more of a throwback to desert forms of harvesting meat before refrigeration, which is also why pork is banned because of what's the pork issue? Whatever it is, when you don't cook it properly.
Trichinosis, yeah.
Trichinosis, yeah. You have to reach a certain operating temperature. Otherwise, you don't kill it. And that's why pork is banned, because it's hard to cook it to perfection in the desert and doesn't store well and blah, blah, blah. And spices were expensive. So yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, again, Russian asset seizure was a big deal. And the Saudis are defending their boy. So pretty this is a huge big deal. So you know, BRICS is gathering more solidarity with each passing day. And again, the petrodollar agreement expired on June 4th. So yeah. And with the market pricing in a potential and likely Trump victory, which I actually don't anticipate, Russia is at least saying that they're waiting to have more diplomatic conversations, and they're at least looking forward to potentially dealing with Trump going forward. But again, the shift from the cohesive and instant shift among all the mainstream media outlets to attack Biden on schedule, to me, shows that everything is being scripted. So I'm a little bit worried that we'll all get played at the end yet again. So yeah. Okay. Here's more threats for NATO. I don't know why North Korea is in this conversation, but that's retarded. Oh, Linda, if you're around and not busy and working, we would love to get your intel on the French situation.
Sure.
Yeah, please.
I don't know if the group is aware, but we had like unexpected election in France about like last weekend was the second round, and the week before the first round. So basically what happened, the French president was fed up with the parliament, like the equivalent of the French Congress, and he dissolved it. He has this power to say, okay, guys, you're not happy, so I dissolve it, and I organize new elections. So that's what happened. And he said, after the election, the people of France are going to decide who's going to govern the country. And unfortunately, it didn't go really well. He thought the people would support him and his government. But what happened is French people were divided and voted for 3 big blocks. So now, instead of having a clear majority, we have the left, the middle, which represent the president, and then the right. And so these 3 groups are fighting for power. And since Sunday, the president decided that it's too messy, so he didn't nominate a prime minister yet. And yesterday, he released a letter to the French people saying, I'm gonna back out a little bit. I'm not going to nominate a prime minister just yet. I'm going to ask the three big blocs to talk to each other and decide for themselves who's going to be the prime minister. So it's a big mess. Everyone is fighting each other. And the novelty in this election is that the group, the far right, had a lot of success, because in the past they had only 6 representatives, if you will, and now they have something like 150 people representing them in the parliament, which is a big, big victory for them.
Yeah, 158.
Yeah, there's a big fight between, actually the far left as well is increasing a lot as well. Because in the past we had like this left party was the equivalent of the US Democrats, if you will. They lost a lot of seats, and now the far left, they're crazy. They just fight each other. They're against everything. It's a big mess. So the party of the president is weaker now. Like nothing is solved with this election. It's even worse than before. And the next presidential election is in 3 years. So I think we're going to have 3 very difficult years with a lot of problems, a lot of fighting, because French people are not really, they're not going to cooperate with the other political party. It exists in a lot of European countries where you have government created with a bunch of different political party. In France, it's not the tradition, so or they do it and it's fun and it's new, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna fight for every little detail, every little law, and nothing is gonna get done. And they're gonna blame each other, because it's been in the last 2 years, 3 years, a big mess in France about that. Politics is not getting any better. So if you think in the US it's bad, in France too is bad. It's bad everywhere. People are pissed everywhere. It's very intense. Some people thought also the president would quit, but apparently he's not quitting, so don't know what's gonna happen.
So we see videos about angry people in the streets
Yes, all the time.
all the time. And so like the Olympics is coming up maybe
Yeah.
10 days from now.
Yeah.
And I saw that there's already people talking about making trouble, I guess is the next
Oh
thing.
yeah. So these people wants to create chaos in France, and they mostly from the far left and the far right, even if the far right doesn't want to acknowledge it, but they're from both sides. They just want chaos.
It's actually going to be 84.
It's
So,
gonna happen. Problems are gonna happen. The government is really, really scared of that, and they're really trying their best to prevent that, but I don't know how they're gonna manage it. It's gonna be really bad. I'm hoping
I
that
would be far right, but I don't believe it's far right. I think that
it is the Marine Le Pen herself. She's trying to keep her troop under control, and mostly she can, but like I would say 90% of the people with her are fine. They're respectful of everything and stuff. But you always have 10% of people who don't listen. They're really extremists. I'm not saying it's all of them. It's just a little minority of
I
them.
get it. So what about the left? I mean, the
The
things
left are, I don't
it,
understand.
it looks dangerous.
They are dangerous. They are. When I left France, they didn't exist. There were so very few people. They were non-existent. And the left party was very, very pacific. Like there was no problem of violence or anything. But now they took control. They took advantage of the. I don't know if you remember the Yellow Vest movement.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they gather all these people who are like the workers, like people who don't make a lot of money. They're enraged and furious and just very angry at everyone because they can make a living and stuff. So they gather all these people, and the mistake of the governments is that they let them create violence and the president was just, no, let them burn everything, let them destroy everything. They're gonna calm down. And they didn't. They got stronger and stronger to the point
Yeah,
that they
but
created a whole,
also as violence comes up, the
yeah,
willingness and acceptance of violence gets more dangerous.
it is dangerous and
Yeah,
people are
because
fed
that's what
up.
we had in BLM and Antifa.
It's really bad, really bad. I don't recognize France no more. It's very strange to me what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel that it's very, very sad, but I feel it's a worldwide phenomenon. It's a cycle. We're in a bad cycle, and it's gonna last for a few years before it gets better, I think.
I always wanted to go to Paris and do all the things, but
Yeah.
now everybody's worried, and the idea
Well,
it's not safe to
well,
go out in the evenings and stuff. It sounds
no, it's safe. It's very safe. You have police everywhere and stuff. It's just I go to France every year and I never had any problem and stuff. But it's just that people who travel in France, they have an ideal image in their head, like they see in movies, and it's not the case. Like they probably people who have trouble, they book very cheap hotel in very bad neighborhoods, and they think it's fine, and it's not fine. It's a big city, and if you have a budget and you just book a hotel that's in a nice neighborhood, you'll be fine. You won't have any problem. The only problem that have tourists is that they go in very bad places. It's like imagine booking your hotel in the worst street in the Tenderloin in
Wait,
San
where,
Francisco.
like, can you just maybe give us a crash course, like where to stay out of?
Uh, well, there's a few. Well, a very center of Paris. Um, basically everything that's middle and then east is not great. I would go on the
Middle and
west
east.
side.
West.
Yeah,
Stay west.
west is better, way
Yeah,
better.
that's where
And
the
then
embassies are,
the
right?
second, yeah, 7, 8, 15, 16 arrondissement, the neighborhoods are really good. But if you go on the north and the east, it's not dangerous like Auckland. It's okay, it's fine, nothing is gonna happen to you, but it's not nice, you feel it's a little bit sketchy. No one is gonna rob you or anything with a gun or a knife or anything, no. But also people, we have a problem in France in the public transportation, in the metro. We have a ton of people coming from Eastern Europe countries, very poor, like Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia. And these people, they look like German people. They're blonde with blue eyes. They look good. You don't think they are pickpocket, but they are. And so they rob tourists in public transportation. And that's why Paris has a bad reputation. But if you're careful, if you don't do stupid things, you're okay. All my friends who visited Paris, they never had a problem because I told them, I said, please don't leave your valuable in your backpack, and your wallet is with you. Be careful on this kind of stuff. It's fine.
Okay.
But otherwise, like if you just don't go in bad neighborhood. Like I had a close friend, before he knew me, he booked his hotel in the street Rue Saint-Denis, which is known to have prostitutes and stuff. And he was just, oh, I didn't like it. And I was, oh, I bet you didn't like it. And he was, well, the restaurant were not good. You were in the worst street of Paris. Come on. There are wonderful neighborhoods, wonderful areas in Paris, and I guarantee you can have amazing vacation. It's just a question of doing a tiny bit of research before you book. It's like when I visited New York, I I did a little bit of research. I didn't book my hotel in the Bronx or in Queens. So you just be a little bit careful. That's all,
Yeah,
And
and don't buy the cheapest.
yeah, and then also um there's a like common sense when you travel in Paris. It's a big city. You have 4 million people using public transportation every day. So when you're tourist, don't go to the metro when it's peak hour, when people go to work, because you're gonna feel, oh, they're rude, they don't have time, they walk fast. Yes, you're a tourist, so or you go later or earlier, but don't go in the rush of people working. They're not gonna help you out. That seems to a bit silly, but I think that a lot of Americans are not used to use the public transportation very much. And so they stand in front of stairs and stuff, completely lost.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what happens when they feel oppressed, because there's a lot of people in Paris, a lot. What I recommend is walking. Walking around is wonderful. You see everything. You have buses, they're fabulous. The bus network is insanely good. You see better with a bus than the metro. And then if you do that, you'll be fine and you'll have a great time. But my only recommendation is not to be cheap with the hotel. That's all. If you book a nice hotel, you'll be happy. You'll have amazing vacation, and everything is going to be fine. But people who say, "Oh, I found an hotel. It's $20 a night," and I'm just, "Oh my God, this is full of prostitutes. Come on, guys, let's stop it." Because you have everything in France. You have all prices. You have luxury, incredibly luxurious hotels, and incredibly cheap, horrible stuff. And in the middle, you have a good, I think, good value for your money. It's just a question. Ask me if you please. If you go to France, just ask me. Don't do anything without asking me, and I will let you know if it's nice or not.
That's
Cool.
great.
Maybe next year.
I'll be in France next year. I don't know, somewhere between June. My brother is getting married end of June, so I'll be there, I think, mid-June to mid-July or something. So
And where do your parents live, Linda? Like which part of here?
they live in Kremlin-Bicêtre. You see the 13 arrondissement. It's really on the border. If you zoom in a little bit, maybe you're gonna see it. It's small. I don't see it
How do you
now,
spell
but
it?
it's like Kremlin. It's Kremlin.
It's about 5:30, Warren.
It's
5:30.
KR.
So go to
KR.
6 o'clock from Paris, from the center. There you go, right there.
Yeah.
Okay, somewhere here. Cool.
A little bit south really on the line, on the border. Yeah. Between Arcueil and Ivry-sur-Seine. It's right in the middle. You see this pink area on the right? Yes, it's there.
Oh, cool.
This is the hospital. My parents just live there.
Oh, very cool.
And
Okay.
they are very, very nice places in Paris. Absolutely fabulous. That would
Okay.
be silly to not go because of what you see in the news.
Yeah. Very cool. And it's the most photographed city on the planet.
It's beautiful. Seriously,
Yeah.
very, very cool.
Okay.
But
Very
you have
cool.
criminals all over trying to take advantage of the tourists, and I can guide you, no problem.
Let's make a trip to France.
All right.
Linda
Next summer,
as the
guys.
guide.
Next summer.
Next
Sure.
summer.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
save some, make money first.
Oh, wait, Linda, do you have friends that are going to the Olympics?
No, nobody's going. Like
No one?
the
Okay.
coverage on TV is great. Like in real life, you see nothing. You don't have commentary and everything. It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
it's not great. And then if you want to have like nice tickets, they're expensive.
Yeah.
No, everyone is avoiding Paris. We'll be at the beach.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we got to speed up a little bit because there's a lot of earnings trades. Let's just fast forward. Let's get through the commodity stuff and international in the China news, and we'll call it a day. But yeah, thank you, Linda, for the quick,
Sure,
know,
no problem.
promoting tourism and helping the French economy, unlike what everyone else is doing over there, and just giving out free lollipops instead.
It's great. You just need to be prepared. That's all.
All right. Well, we'll come support ASAP next summer. Okay, very cool. But yeah, uranium's having a good time. So lots of uranium plays here. What's the master list? Let's just go through on the top really quick. CCJ, that's what I was thinking. Any other UEC? That's not as popular. It's not as liquid for option guys. But yeah, CCJ is the main player for uranium. Let's just take a look at this curve really quick. Price action looks amazing. Oh, holy cow. Where have I been? I'm paying attention to NVIDIA too much. Okay. All right. But yeah, okay. Get back to notes. All right. Uranium's good. So the ticker here was CCJ. Let me write this in for us. CCJ. All right, cool. Coffee's going up. Can't really trade that directly. This was a really scary chart, so I just want to show it to you guys. Corn hoarding. Where's the chart? Chart. Okay, yeah, that's the amounts. I want the price. Wait, where did it go? I guess it's this one. Okay, that was bigger. Okay, let me show you guys. All right, so we haven't been hoarding this bad since wait, this is not the one. Sorry. Where's the here we go. Sorry. Wait, this is not it either. Where's the 20-year chart? 1988. Where is it? I guess it's this one. Okay, I misread. Sorry, going too fast. All right, hoarding. Here we go. We haven't been hoarding at this level since 1988. So let's pull up the price really quick. What's bushels of corn? Pull up the right ticker here. Dave, do you happen to know the forward slash acronym for corn? Does anyone I slash I?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I could guess, but I can't remember.
Corn. Where are you, corn? Corn futures. ZC. Okay. ZC. All right. So yeah, you can see the price is terrible, right? So we're below the 200 and 500-day moving average. Why would you sell at this rate? You wouldn't. You just wait. And that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So you can understand why it's stockpiling. And we're going to war soon. So this will become far more valuable under a wartime scenario. Okay, excellent day. We'll skip the other stuff. Let's get to the fun stuff. We talked about metals. We're setting all-time new highs today. Maybe not at this very moment, but it is up there. Let's shift to China news and we'll call it a day. All right, China Plant Protection Team is getting ready to increase and spike M2 yet again. Again, the magical psychological level here is 3,000, and we're about 30 ticks below that, so we're in trouble. And if you look at the 3,000 mark, it's been going nowhere for a long time, and it's quite unlike the Nifty 50. So yeah. All right, let's get to our fun stuff here. Let's talk Chinese bonds really quick. And while a lot of suckers buy the dip, Beijing is melting down here. So, and this is an incomplete story because it doesn't talk about the shadow banking side, which is a more localized domestic contagion, but it's still part of the overall systemic risk of Asia. So, yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of balls to short China, post rally, but I think it's a pretty obvious play. So here's another article that Larry sent me. This is less fiscally minded, but just shows you more about Chinese shenanigans. So here's transporting cooking oil through, oil trucks. Like, what the hell is this? Just Chinese monkey business. Like, if they can save a penny, they will. They don't like they give no qualms about who dies in the process. But yeah, just like you've heard about gutter oil and sewer oil, but this is straight from the factory. So just all kinds of shenanigans. Okay. And I want to talk more about the lack of payments from local government. And we've talked about it before. Local government are primarily funded 60 to 80% through local land sales, which have, stopped to near zero amounts. And because of the solvency issue, they're not paying their lower end public servants. So you're looking at bus drivers, sanitation workers, sewer workers, police officers, cops, teachers, even doctors and whatnot. So, and the challenge for these folks is the folks like who would show up for work without, a paycheck for 8 months? Well, these folks are between age 30 and 45. They have massive liabilities and they can't get a new job anyway because of ageism. So they're kind of going to these dumb jobs anyway. So it kind of goes back to that old Soviet quote, if you guys remember this. They pretend to pay us and we pretend to work. So it's not a good thing all around. So yeah, just don't be poor in China, I guess.
So that's when you don't move the money towards whoever, and you start taking bribes.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, if you want good hospital care, I'm not going to charge you, but you can bribe our nurses.
yeah, and gosh, Dave, if you needed a fresh heart transplant, you could go to China.
No, I don't
I,
think.
I know. I'm just saying though. They get it to you within 24 hours too, which is the scary part.
For $1 million, I'm sure they would.
No questions asked. Cool. But yeah, this is one of the coolest like Chinese articles about pre-nuclear age iron ore that's extremely valuable for as a what they call it, I think a reference metal or something. It's great for Geiger counters and medical instruments and whatnot. But yeah, I dropped some cool links here and information if you guys want to read about this. But if you guys have some, material science interest, I think this might be fun. But other than that, yeah, China's expanding in Cuba. It's Bay of Pigs all over again. BYD is expanding like crazy. And the BYD founder on Chinese social media was discussing about full self-driving for a second, and he called it the new version of the emperor has no clothes. So I think that was a pretty prescient uh, uh, saying. I saw it on Chinese social media. It's not in here though. But yeah, we're running a little bit out of time here, but yeah, we can call it here because I know a lot of us have to do our banking trades for tomorrow. So we can call it here, and let me stop the recording.